Revenge. A novel by Lizelle.
Chapter 4, Signature. It was very hard for me to tell on my parents that Knight has already proposed to me. So I told Knight we together should tell it to them. After work, I went to Aaron's new house to get some opinion. Aaron stopped working because she's already 3 months pregnant, so she was open in their house. I sat down in her pink floral sofa and watched her while painting the picture of her husband. "Ah, you're so talented," I said while watching her. "Thank you, my friend," she said while busily brushing and stroking the board. "Are you already ready to marry him?" she asked me. "I think yes, I was," I replied while moving my eyes. "I asked because you are only 2 years together. You still need to know each other. Gabs and I are dating for 12 years, but still I don't know him much. But I think that 12 years is enough. We invested so much time together," she explained. I became silent and just think about what she said. Though I time travel back and have glimpse of Knight's time when he was growing as a man, still it is not enough for me. He must know me better and we should invest more time together to strengthen our bond. What I like about my friend Aaron and Gabs is that they never fight and they understand each other so much. There is no confusion between them. Aaron's parents like Gab, and same with Gab's parents. They like Aaron. Though Aaron was very attractive and talented woman, no one ruins their relationship. I wish to have that kind of love. Friend, do not take too much on my words. I think if you both love each other so much, then the two of you will stay happily together. Soon your parents will accept him too," Aaron suddenly said while worrying on me. "Oh, I am done," Aaron said with a smile. I looked closely to her painting and noticed that she forgot her signature with date on the painting. "You forgot your signature," I pointed to the lower right side corner. "Ah yes, thank you for reminding me. I often forgot it." "Thanks so much," Aaron replied. She signed her newly painted portrait of Gab. I moved my eyes to her signature and it was started by letter A with some lines. I think this signature was very familiar and I already saw it before. I swallowed my saliva and intensely said, "I remember the painting at Tube Coaster Station and it was similar with her signature. I take picture on her signature when she was not looking. I need to go," I said to her and rushed to go outside. I decided to go to planet Earth and rode to the Tube Coaster. Again, I was at the planet Earth for only the reason that I want to see the signature of the painter. I stand straightly and look into the painting while opening the pictured signature of Aaron. My tears fall. The two are the same. Aaron in the future is the one who painted us. She painted me and Knight. We will soon die, and I do not know why. How unfortunate we are in the future. My tears are falling, though I am very tired today. My body said, "Rest," while my brain said, "No." I went to the church where Knight proposed and prayed quietly to God to help us. Then suddenly, after that, I went outside and just looked to the old big antique church. I sadly returned to the tube coaster station with my head downward, but then when I felt brain emptied, I just first sit down to the near mini forest and look into the lake in order to relax myself. It started to rain, so I stand up, but then I don't want to go back and don't let Knight know that I am too sad. I get wet. The rain pours my body. I started to cry until someone covered me in the rain. I looked into the transparent umbrella and looked to the man who held it. He was a time traveler wearing a dark-fitted time traveler suit. His face was a little bit same as the chinito Asian guy who I saw 5 days ago, but he was maybe a little bit older than him. I think he was in 30 years old. Who are you? I asked.
Your time frame was too damaged, so you shouldn't cry. Things will change as what you expected. More locks, doors, and happiness will open soon for you.
He silently said that comforts me while holding the umbrella. Are you a time traveler from the future that came for me? I asked.
I am here not for you. I came with my wife. She requested me to see a depressed woman who cried while raining.
He smiled and explained. I stopped crying and showed a doubting face. I was thinking that it was me, the woman who cried while raining.
Kindly, take this umbrella. My wife is waiting right there.
He said and pointed his hands on the trees, then quickly leaves the area in a hard flash. I returned back to planet Earth, but because I am not feeling good, I fell slowly on the floor. Robots came to carry me and brought me to the hospital while at the same time sending messages and contacting my parents. I stayed for 2 days at the hospital. I got a very high fever and too exhausted. Knight, my friend, co-workers, and parents visited me. I was feeling a little bit better when Knight came and told me that he will stay for 4 hours in the hospital for me. I saw him reading silently.
How are you?
He asked in a silent voice. I think I should work tomorrow and go out in the hospital, I said silently to Knight.
Okay, but don't overuse yourself. Life is too short,
he said to me. I nodded as a reply. Knight suddenly held my hand and said that he yesterday told to my parents about our wedding. What did they say? I asked.
They were shocked, but they approve it. Soon they will sign the approval form.
I was happy for that, I silently said. After many hours, Knight went out and kissed me on my forehead. My mom and dad came as an exchange. How are you, my daughter? My mom said while worrying. I'm fine. Do I have other diseases found? I asked. None. She replied and kissed me on my forehead. After 3 hours we packed up and I am ready to go out at the hospital. My mom and I walked together. Knight yesterday told me something that you are not yet telling me. My mom seriously said while holding loosely my right arm. I'm sorry, Mom, you already proposed. I silently said, It's okay, my dear Lyrids, do not think too much. She said silently. Mom, do you mean you accepted it? I asked with a little bit surprised voice. Yes, why not? She smiled at me and said, Thank you, Mom, I love you so much. I embraced her tightly. The time traveler was right. Good thing is now coming towards me. I returned to my work and planning to resign and to find another place and continue my dream to be a safety assurance time traveler. While working, I am wearing a yellow with long formal time traveler skirt. I monitor the tourists who time traveled with me while we go on different time backward. I discussed important history to them and encouraged them to explore with limitations to avoid changes to the time frame they visited. I want to time travel 8 years from now to the future, I said to Vila, my 41-year-old co-worker with me. It is not allowed, Lyrids. Only going back was permitted. You will violate our law and will receive orange warning as an offense if you use time machine and travel to the future. She silently explained to me. I already know that, but I tried to find ways but failed. All I want is to know what will happen to me and Knight in 8 years from now. This is the painting made by Aren. However, the time traveler said that my time frame was already damaged. What did he mean about that? I went to Knight's house here in Mars. The only person who can time travel forward was the government, few inventor of time machines, and potentially Knight. I went to his second floor of house and saw 10 types of time machine. I don't know how to use them. Those were too different. I saw one time machine that it was set to 9 years forward. Maybe all I need to do is sit and try to push some buttons. I looked for the manual, but when I saw one, Teddy saw me and screamed, "Lyrids! What are you doing here? Why are you holding the manual?" He asked loudly. "Don't say that too loud, Knight will hear you," I whispered to him. "I want to time travel forward. Please help me. I need to know the answer why Knight will be a cyborg in the future and we will not be happy." I explained to him. "We might also die in the year 2072. I also added. Teddy became silent and sadly smiled at me. "You are not going to die," he slowly said. "Knight will die," he sadly said. Though there is no tears in his eyes, it feels like Teddy wants to cry. I was shocked on what he said. "Why?" "Knight encountered accident 4 years ago. Before meeting you at planet Earth, some portion of his body was already a cyborg. It was too uncomfortable for him and secreted this to you because you might not love him back. And the problem is, there is someone who can control those robotic devices in his body and also can control his brain. He makes research, make improvement and expanded the cyborg portion in his body to be able to not be controlled. You know what? He was also working on making powerful cyborg army with no feelings at Red Triangle Corp. Right now only half of him was cyborg, his feet, arms, and shoulder. I time traveled alone and saw your happy wedding. But then after 2 years, Knight's complete setup being cyborg was exposed and became a threat to planet Mars because the terrorists in planet Earth secretly implanted program on him that until now he is trying to figure out how to remove it. But if he remove it, he will die. You became a great wife to him, and Knight acknowledged that in the future. But then, Knight was still a secret weapon, together with some human cyborgs in the planet Earth. You fight for him, but in order to save you from Martian's army, he requested you to remove his battery in his human heart and allow him to demolish him with other captured destructive cyborgs and robots. I told Knight a little about this and asked him to marry you early so that he could change your time frame. Maybe by this time, you can change his mind to continue his research and expanding the robotic parts in his body as soon as possible. I beg you," Teddy said while kneeling to me. "Do not tell Knight that I inform you his secrets, Lyrids. I trust you," he lastly said. I wiped my tears and went away. I went to a serene place and think about Knight's situation. So Knight proposed early on me to make a quick change in our time frame So now we had a damaged time frame. Future will be unpredictable now.
Hit like and subscribe for the upcoming chapter.